Good morning, natural gas. It's Wednesday, April 1st, 2026. I'm Tim Beggins, president of Elk Trading Company. Welcome to the natural gas injection season. That's right, it's day one. And currently, right now, for the spot May contract, we're currently trading at 283.30, down 5.1 cents or 1.77%. And as you can see, I've marked here some previous lows. We're just going sideways right now, looking for a seasonal bottom. Why? It's mild weather across the United States for at least the next 10 to 14 days. So as you can see here, the RSI still pointing lower. So we'll see if we can hold here or if we're going to test the recent low for the May contract all the way down at 268.90. Let's take a look at ERCOT, and this is another reason why we've got some pressure on the board. Here's the combined wind and solar, and as you can see, it's over 51,000 megawatts. Today, we peak out just over 64,900, so let's see what happens here. But right now, we've got renewables pushing a large portion of the fuel mix into the grid this afternoon. So let's see what wind and solar does. We're expecting some rain, so let's see if solar declines later this afternoon. Let's take a look at the hourly chart, and here it is. We're holding below the daily pivot, which comes in at 288.80. We're currently above first support at 279.90. The RSI is still pointing lower, so we'll look to see if 279.90 is tested later today. Again, storage injection report tomorrow. Expectations now, NGI is looking for plus 38. Last year was plus 30. The 5-year average minus 4. So let's see if we test this 279.90. Secondary support well below it at 271.40. Let's take a look at the front to back spreads, and this is the injection spread, right? This is Jan versus the May contract. And as you can see, we're down 6 cents today. We're currently trading at 199.20, down 6.2 cents or over 3%. The RSI is pointing lower. So we'll look to see if it comes down and test that major support at 180. Let's take a look at the winter strip and look what happened. We had 4 spikes all the way up there at 475.70 area. And now we've broken down through support yesterday late. And we got through secondary support, which came in at 412.30. We're currently trading at 411.20. The RSI is still pointing lower. We're down 8.2 cents, so almost 2%. So this means we're going to go back and possibly test this recent low here, which comes in at 403.5. Let's take a look at the weather. And this is the weather from NOAA. This is the outlook for the month of April. This was issued yesterday. And as you can see, above normal for the southeast and, of course, the west. That's where it's been, that heat dome building. And let's take a look at the 3-month outlook. Also, this was released prior to that, back on March the 19th. And as you can see, it was expecting above normal temperatures in the desert southwest. And let's take a look at the weather. Let's push it forward here from current all the way out through the first 2 weeks of April. The first week of April. And as you can see, this is building warmer temperatures across the south, but not extreme heat yet. We're looking at 70s and 80s. Just briefly, we get a period of some 90s in Texas, in parts of Abilene, and parts of the desert southwest. But we've got mild temperatures in the northeast. As you can see, that cold front keeps coming back down and pushing out some of this warmer temperature. So back and forth for the Great Lakes, Mid-Atlantic, and New England states. But in the south, it's fairly mild but warm. Let's take a look at the heat map, or excuse me, the anomaly map. And this is that heat you can see starting to build, and it pushes out toward the northeast, and then that colder air starts pushing back against it, and then it goes back and forth for the next 2 weeks here. It looks like we've got a cold front comes through about April the 4th and 5th for the Great Lakes, and then even more cold comes down through April the 7th, 8th, and 9th. So then we get some warmer temperatures before some cooler weather comes in again. So overall, mild temperatures back and forth, but it's spring-like temperatures. How about the heat risk? Well, we've got some minor heat risk here across much of that Texas all the way back to the new mid-Atlantic states. And that continues over the next few days. There is some moderate heat risk in the valleys of Texas, but right now it really looks quite mild. How about Golden Pass? Well, again, it's making first LNG just in time, and it's currently pulling in 315,000 MMBTUs into the terminal. This is getting ready for its first major export cargo. This is good news for Europe and Asia. And how about Europe? Let's take a look. Well, we've got some cooler temperatures right now, but as we get through the forecast period, we get warmer as it gets closer and closer toward the end of the month. This is April the 15th, and as you can see, we're looking at anywhere from about 10 degrees warmer than normal for parts of Spain, France, and Germany. This is good news because today is the first day of injection season in the US and Europe, and look what's happened. The Netherlands is starting out from the gate at 4.95% full. Wow, that's quite low. You've got to be very, very careful. They've got to be very aggressive with their injection season. How about Asia? Well, it's much of the same. It's pretty much starting out pretty mild, and then it ends up being much of the same mild temperatures around the eastern provinces of China, Japan, and the Koreas. How about the U.S. nuclear fleet? Well, currently right now we're sitting at about 18.7 gigawatts are offline, and that compares to last year at 18.9, so pretty much the same, and that was the high for the 5-year average. So everything is looking ready to start ramping down on the outages, which means they'll be coming up to full power just in time for summer. We've been a full month in advance of last year on these outages as far as the volume is concerned. So looks like people are looking at it saying, hey, it's dry, it's going to be hot, and it's going to be early. Let's get these units down and get them ready for summer. So let's take a look at the stocks. Well, of course, we've got some profit taking across the space because natural gas and crude oil are down. And as you can see, it's a sea of red. Right behind me here, Magnolia down 2.83%. So again, recapping here for the spot May contract, we're currently trading at 2.829, down 5.5 cents or just under 2%. The RSI is still pointing lower, so we'll continue to see this under pressure. Again, tomorrow is going to be the natural gas injection report. That's right, we're going to have our injection again, and this is going to be the start of the injection period, April all the way through October. Expectations for NGI plus 38. Again, last year plus 30. The average is minus 4 for the 5-year. So let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.